Okay, let's delve into Assassin's Creed Shadows. Their defense got destroyed. I haven't really kept up with Ubisoft imploding and destroying themselves, so this will be interesting. But I do know that their stock is dying.
Well, apparently when Ubisoft is not using bots to defend themselves, they're using Sweet Baby Inc.
Dude, I heard about that. I heard that they have bots in the comments to uplift their posts about their upcoming game, and they're all people with a first name, last name, and numbers. I heard about that. That's crazy.
Dark Place reports Japanese consultant used by Ubisoft and the New York Times to attack gamers over AC Shadows was actually a Sweet Baby Inc. employee.
Jesus Christ, you can't make this shit up. Oh my god, this is insane. Wow.
It's gotta be some of the worst things you could do to defend yourself as a company, using bots and using Sweet Baby Inc. Like, what are they thinking? And in
They're
most
not.
recent hit piece
They're not thinking, they're panicking. I haven't seen it, no man.
by New York Times that appears to have been done in collaboration with Ubisoft, the outlet's Zachary Small cited a so-called Japanese consultant and translator who claimed that criticism of the game was being done by individuals in the West using translators, and that the Japanese people were not upset with how the game not only featured Yasuke as a protagonist, but that he's depicted as a samurai. Bro, people in Japan literally made a song that mocks AC Shadows that in only 2 months has already gotten nearly 3 million views.
Oh
and of course, all over the
God.
internet, plenty of Japanese people have also criticized Ubisoft, plenty of videos, plenty of posts all over social media, etc, etc. And these bootlickers really want to try and say that it's all just Westerners using translators. They then write about Hashimoto.
Oh my god, people are coming out with their IDs and passports and going like, I'm Japanese. Yeah, Japan is loving the game. You guys are just jealous. Like, wow.
Who, as you can see here, was listed as a freelance narrative design consultant over at Sweet Baby Inc. And they say Hashimoto told the New York Times, quote, "It was people in the West who were upset with seeing Yasuke as a samurai." Small added, Small, for those that don't know, is the journalist behind said New York Times article. They say, Small added that Hashimoto explained, quote, that many of the negative online comments written in Japanese appear to have been roughly translated from English. The narrative that Hashimoto, Small, and Ubisoft were trying to spin was outrageous to begin with, given that Small had written just 2 paragraphs ahead of his citation of Hashimoto, that Ubisoft attempted to assume concerns about the game's authenticity, apologizing in a lengthy statement for promotional materials that it said had bothered some Japanese audiences.
Bothered some Japanese audience. Oh my god.
There's a contradiction there. Even before this, Small noted, the inclusion of Yasuke was the primary complaint. But observers also pointed to the presence of Chinese architecture and period inappropriate flags. The controversy became so heated that a small right-wing political party in Japan formally asked the government to comment on what is considered historical inaccuracies. If it was just Western people, why was a Japanese political party requesting an investigation into the game? And why did Ubisoft issue a so-called apology to Japanese gamers?
Wait, they
Nevertheless, it's been
apologized?
discovered that Hashimoto was actually an employee of Sweet Baby Inc. from February 2020 to April 2023, as noted by his own LinkedIn profile. Not only is Hashimoto a former employee of Sweet Baby Inc., but he's an activist journalist whose articles are featured at Polygon, Siliconera, Them, and multiple outlets owned by Gamers Group. Mark Kern, aka Grums, shared one article Hashimoto wrote on Medium where he criticized Animal Crossing New Horizons by acknowledging Japan's history of colonial rule.
What?
You gotta be kidding me. This dude
What? You have gotta be kidding me.
actually got pressed by Animal Crossing, saying it's like a
Christ.
colonizer game.
Oh my god. Seriously? You really can't make this shit up. Like, they don't even know, like, first of all, what does one have to do with another? And second of all, what?
Are these people always so freaking lame and weird?
Yeah, they are really lame and weird.
Earlier this year, Hashimoto also wrote an article at Them titled, "How Gay Can You Be in Dragon's Dogma 2? An Investigation."
Nice.
What the frick? What am I reading here, man? It is unsurprising that Ubisoft and the New York Times would use Hashimoto as a so-called expert to attack gamers. It's an old play the Access Media uses. For example, Amazon Prime previously used this play in the lead up to release The Lord of the Rings of Power Season 1. However, instead of
Oh
using the New York
God.
Times, Amazon went to Vanity Fair and writers Anthony Bresnikan and Joanna Robinson.
I mean, I gotta say, The Rings of Power, absolutely cinema in the worst way possible. You gotta like watch it with popcorn, and realize just how bad and terrible it is. It is the best drama of the year. How can you fuck something up so badly? It's literally gonna be used years from now as the worst things you can possibly do and how to completely ruin a franchise. Oh, man.
That duo then launched their attack on gamers, saying, when Amazon released photos of its multicultural cast, even without character names or plot details, the studio endured a reflexive attack from trolls, the anonymous online kind.
The anonymous online trolls! Excuse me, are there like real life, offline self-declared trolls? Do we have people identifying as trolls in real life now? I mean, I'm pretty sure there are probably people identifying as trolls, but like, really? The anonymous online card. Yeah.
Then they cited a woman named Maria Rios Maldonado, who they described as a Tolkien scholar. However, she's anything but. Rather, she was a PhD student at the University of Glasgow who is interested in ethics, feminist theory, and encountering the others in Tolkien's works. It's really funny how ethics for these people really just means bootlicking massive corporations.
Ethics. Yeah, ethics, alright. It's like, there's not enough feminism in it. We need to do better.
Also happened to be the Equality and Diversity Officer for the University of Glasgow Center for Fantasy and the Fantastic. I think I just lost IQ reading that right there.
Me
anyways,
too.
continuing. Next, Vanity Fair used Maldonado to attack Tolkien fans and imply they're all racist for simply wanting a more accurate adaptation. She questioned, obviously there was going to be push and backlash, but the question is from whom? Who are these people that feel so threatened or disgusted by the idea that an elf is black or Latino or Asian?
I don't know, maybe the people that read the books and wanted to be accurate.
The tactic did not end up working for Rings of Power, as The Hollywood Reporter's Kim Masters reported in April 2023 that 63% of individuals who watched part of the show's premiere back in 2022 did not complete the show. She wrote, while Amazon, like other streamers, provides only limited data, and internally it held information even more closely than usual in the series, sources confirmed that The Rings of Power had a 37% domestic completion rate. For those outside the US, the completion rate was higher. Masters shared overseas, it reached 40.
Elves are not human. Shh. How dare you? How dare you bring up that they had nice, sweet babies, wink, that have transcended over time into being pure blood elves now, because who cares what pure means anymore? Pure is whatever my pure heart thinks, okay? Into being complete different than they should have been. Yeah. You're just jealous that they could do it, okay? Oh my god. Like, honestly, you can't make this shit up, man. You literally can't make this shit up. It is so bad. And so they're trying to justify it in the worst way. At least be upfront and honest and go, we want to make a series so that we can target people and sell them a product and go like, here, you have like this show, we made it for you. It's not based on the original. We're making our own spin-off. It's a spin-off. We took creative liberties, but we want your money. So, yeah, be fucking honest. You're probably gonna get more people interested if you're honest and you're not trying to be like, huh, why are you offended? We didn't like do anything wrong.
5%. A 50% completion rate would be solid, but not spectacular, according to insiders. And so this sort of tactic is also unlikely to work with Assassin's Creed Shadows, as Ubisoft CEO Yves Guillemot already revealed that the game is unlikely to be the best-selling Assassin's Creed game of all time.
It's unlikely for it to be the best-selling of all time. Yes.
Barclays Nick Dempsey asked him, when you talk about it being the most ambitious, are you hoping for it to be the best-selling Assassin's Creed game? To which Guillemot replied, at this time we can say we expect Assassin's Creed to be among the high sellers of the company so far. Okay, so in other words, he dodged the question. The game's pre-orders do not look good either. Craig Skitstimus, aka Stuttering Craig, who owns and hosts the Side Scrollers podcast, shared that a retail insider informed him that the game is selling less than one copy per store.
I mean, their pre-orders are not gonna look good because they're doing the dumb thing where they're selling a single-player game
in advance to people, and they're charging you like what, $40 extra to play it early? Guess what? Gamers are finally starting to catch up on it and be
sick of it. They are tired of having to do pre-orders to play early for a shitty-ass game. It's such a bad thing to go, yeah, we want you to pay $120 for our crappy game that is not historically accurate, and on top of that is insulting people. Yeah, of course it doesn't look good.
He says, my insider told me that as of this morning at their nationwide big box chain, Assassin's Creed Shadows has less than 800 pre-orders combined for Xbox and PlayStation 5 company-wide. He added, they have over 900 stores. That's less than one pre-order per store. Yikes.
Ouch.
On the PlayStation Store, the Ultimate Edition of the game, which costs around $130, is ranked 16th behind New World Eternum, Dragon Age the Veilguard, Silent Hill 2, Mortal Kombat 1 Chaos Reigns Expansion, and Dragon Ball Sparking Zero.
Like $130, right? You want me to pre-order your shitty-ass game for $130 when the salary in my country per month, like in 1 month, the minimum salary is $450. No, we're not gonna pre-order it. Like, guess what? A lot of the world doesn't have that much disposable income to throw on a shitty-ass game with your pre-order. $130.
Which, by the way, is a game that I'm excited for. Budokai Tenkaichi 3 was one of the best fighting games of all time. As for Assassin's Creed Shadows, the base game is even further down the list in the 21st place behind Disney epic Mickey Rebrushed, Throne and Liberty, and Sonic X Shadow Generations. The Gold Edition sits on the second page in 30th place. And they end by saying, what do you make of this revelation that Hashimoto was a former Sweet Baby Inc. employee?
Yeah, what do you make of it?
Intro, I just can't believe that Ubisoft is doing what they do and they think this is like the right move. They're one of the largest gaming companies in the entire world, and they could just put that power and money towards making good games, but apparently that's too much to ask. Instead, we see them come up with all kinds of excuses and contradictions, bunch of bots all over the internet attempting to defend them. We see it all over Twitter and YouTube comments, for example. Heck, I made a video a few days ago where I talked about how a video that I made talking about the terrible financial situation for Ubisoft had gotten an influx of bot comments. They were like spamming the comment section with periods. And then in between the period spam, there were other bots leaving comments attempting to defend Ubisoft and Star Wars Outlaws, but their comments sounded so nonsensical. And now it looks like the New York Times is collaborating with some ex-Sweet Baby Inc. employee to defend Ubisoft as well. This whole situation is just so bizarre. On top of all that, there was the old news where they came out with Skull and Bones trying to say, this is like a quadruple A game, everybody. And then the whole like, gamers need to get comfortable not owning their games. It's like, the majority of stuff that comes out from this company is just like the worst statements and the worst actions they could possibly do. It's like they have an option. Do you want to do something good or do you want to do like the worst option possible? And they always pick the worst option.
I mean, they're clearly going for a bad guy playthrough, okay? That's what they're doing. They chose the bad route. They want the bad ending, clearly. Yeah, but like, honestly, it is insane to me. Just the fact that they want to cut corners so badly and they want to get a new audience in so badly that they forget what the games are meant to be and what they're about. It's insane. It's really not that hard to be a decent person. It's not that hard to just focus on making a good game rather than milking your customers.
And to end with some comedy, let's go back to that whole Hashimoto Animal Crossing thing. Because Hashimoto made this tweet, says, "Hi, I wrote about Animal Crossing New Horizons and why acknowledging Japan's history of colonial rule is important to the discussion." No, it's literally not at all. It's a freaking Animal Crossing game. If you're taking it that seriously and getting all mad at it, something's seriously wrong with this person. And they end by saying, obviously it doesn't cover everything, but feel free to read. The headline, Animal Crossing New Horizons and Japanese colonialism. Weirdo.
Yeah. I would not click that link or read it, honestly. I'd look at it like kind of like go, oh, and move on.
Anyways, I will leave it there. Thank you all for tuning in.
I honestly can't believe that is true. It baffles me. It honestly baffles me. Like, what is wrong with them?